All right, let's work on getting our internet sea legs going. Saw this going on the last couple days, maybe a little bit late to the party, but NPR editor Yuri Berliner resigns as calls for defunding grow. Yuri Berliner, and I purposely am using Wikipedia, even though Wikipedia is trash, because we're going to be talking about Kathleen Maher. And Kathleen Maher was the CEO of Wikipedia for the last few years before she moved over to NPR. And again, Wikipedia has its own problems because the founders, at least one of the founders of Wikipedia, has said that Wikipedia is now no longer an unbiased site, and um, the foxes have been let into the hen house. So using Wikipedia as any form of referencing is so biased that I have read articles where teachers and professors no longer allow citations from Wikipedia to be used in papers. Moving on from this, NPR editor, and this is Yuri Berliner, and it gets even funnier on this one. He has worked at NPR for 25 years, and he got suspended for 5 days for being critical of the biased reporting going on at NPR. Now, when the funny thing is, there's an internet meme where it says, when you get good, you'll no longer have to look at the early life of individuals to understand why they are the way they are. But if Wikipedia is to be trusted, and again, big asterisk, maybe you can or cannot trust them. Berliner is the only child of lesbian rights activist Eva Kolich. Now, Eva Kolich, it says here, she is a card carrying Trotskyite, if I remember, like flipping through this Trotsky Workers Party. You can't make this stuff up. So when you have a left winger, a liberal, who has finally gotten to the point where he says, you may have gone a little too far, and I'm going to have to blow the whistle on how biased you've become as a institution, trying to inform the public. Now, in this article, they point out, and then this goes back to Mayer, the now CEO of NPR. She made this really odd comment a few years ago regarding Wikipedia at a TED Talk. And there are many different truths. And so, in the spirit of that, I'm certain that truths exist for you and probably for the person sitting next to you, but this may not be the same truth, right? And says, Mayer didn't do NPR any favors when she said in her TED Talk 2 years ago that, in fact, our reverence for the truth might be a distraction that is getting in the way of finding common ground and getting things done. Again, if I want to base my reality on things that are true, as opposed to my reality on the things that you believe, we're going to have a problem. Yeah, we may not be able to find common ground, but the common ground that we should be able to agree with, that someone who's the CEO of a news organization, and prior to that is the CEO of a or executive director of an online, well, basically an encyclopedia, probably should not be in the position where her incompetence and her ideological bias is getting in the way of good news and ability for individuals to be able to have critical thinking and come to their own conclusions that are not in line with Miss Mayer's. Now, the bigger problem with this when it comes to NPR, the argument comes down to how much public funding is actually going to the national public broadcasting radio station. That's probably the bigger thing. In this case, it ends up being very murky, and this actually says this in the article that 1% of public funding goes to NPR. But, and there's a big asterisk next to this, it actually talks about this. It received $7 million from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, which is primarily funded by the U.S. government. Though it's murkier than that, as the Hill reported last year, CPB, Corporation for Public Broadcasting, doles out about $500 million annually to local public TV and public radio stations, which use funding to license NPR programming. So again, they're getting backdoor funding into NPR. So now we have a problem where we have public funds, yours and my tax dollars, being able to be used as propaganda against the ideology of roughly half the country because they don't subscribe to Miss Mayer. And again, how someone like this, I am not saying that anybody should not do what they want to do. What I am saying is, if I am trying to run a company and it is either an online uh, encyclopedia or a news agency, someone that's so ideologically biased that they can't properly run the institution without it turning into some type of, well, shit show. An ability to launder information for political purposes, right? And that's what's going on here. This is the good old Clinton dossier that was out there a few years ago. I just need to be able to call up somebody and go, hey, can you make this real so I can get a Pfizer warrant? Those are the things that are going on when someone like this shows up for a job interview. Everyone on the board should go, what the fuck? And when they don't do things like that, and they actually give this person a job, you no longer have faith in your institutions. And now now you're going to have, a problem when it comes to trust, the contracts that we have with each other so we can wake up and go to work together, find that common ground so our kids can play together on the same playground. You no longer have it because a person like this would rather sacrifice, those ethics and that integrity to have power. And our good friend that wrote 1984, the party seeks power for the sake of power. Well, now we have someone that's like not seeking truth for the sake of truth. She's seeking truth for the sake of power, which means whatever power is, however you want to define it, that's all she cares about. She doesn't care about a news organization. She cares about being able to have her worldview become yours. So anyway, hopefully I'll get my internet sea legs working a little bit better. And yeah, see you again.